Hello, friends, and welcome back to Malicious Compliance Stories. You did great, OP. Your job isn't worth the sale. You'd be fined personally, the store would get fined, you'd get fired, and you may even get jail time. But before we begin, best way to support our channel is to leave comments, like, and subscribe with the turned-on bell so you don't miss the new video every single day. Here we go. Drunk lady gets mad. When I was in college, I worked in a liquor department of a grocery store. This was in Missouri, where you can buy any sort of alcohol in a grocery store. So one evening, this lady stumbles in and walks around the store with a friend for a few minutes. They're loud and obviously drunk. They come to the counter and I ask, "How are you doing tonight?" She responds, "I'm drunk, but I need more," as she slams her basket on the counter. In the basket was a handle of vodka and some mixers. I told her, "Not only are you visibly drunk, but you just told me that you're intoxicated. I'm not legally allowed to sell to you." She flips out and starts yelling at the top of her lungs. Co-workers from other departments run over to see what the hell's going on. I calmly asked her to leave. She told me she'd leave, but come back with her man to F me up. Then I told her that I was calling the police. She leaves the store and is cussing all the way to the parking lot. They had a third friend waiting in driver's seat of the car. Loud girl tells driver what happened. The driver then climbs halfway out the window and screams with a slurred, "She's not drunk." Then they speed out of the parking lot. I snapped a picture of their plates as they drove away. I called the police and told them what happened. An hour later, a cop showed up and told me that the driver had a suspended license from a previous DUI. They arrested her but couldn't locate the other lady for threatening me. So I've told people this story before, and they always said I was a hard butt. Now, since I work for a grocery chain, we were always having secret shoppers come in to test our customer service skills and check our security. Occasionally, they'd send incognito assistant managers from other stores in the chain to try and walk in employee-only areas just to see if our workers were paying attention. With the knowledge that this could have been a setup, I didn't want to get in trouble. Plus, if they'd gotten in a wreck and had a receipt with my name on it, I would have been effed. I honestly would have received no benefit from selling to a drunk stranger. And our second story. Entitled father wants the whole world for his princess. A few years ago, I used to work in a private nursery, also known as preschool for the people who don't know what a nursery is. Now, since it's a private nursery, you can expect that lots of the parents are relatively wealthy, around middle-class wealthy, but some are working class. Way more wealthy than any of the other parents. He would often ride his silver Lamborghini, and when he's too lazy, he rides an Uber. He would wear lots of branded products like Gucci and wear a really expensive watch that he never ever uses. He only wears it to look good. Of course, his daughter, who I'll name Princess, also wears branded clothing as well. From her clothes to her toys, everything was extremely expensive. Now, with all this wealth, it should be easy to pay for expensive food, right? Wrong. This entitled father thought otherwise. On her first day in nursery, I informed the entitled father how she was, what she did, and what she ate. It's mandatory for us to inform the parents about the children's progress for the day. The second I finished informing him what she ate, he quickly snapped at me with questions. It isn't a problem asking questions regarding their children, but it was the demands that he made that made it difficult. ED, are the food organic? Me, no, have you not been informed about this during your tour in the nursery? ED, shut up, I know. Me, shocked. Oh, sorry. ED, is the food vegan? Me, oh, did you inform us when you were filling out the forms? I want to note that he did not specify about them being vegan when filling out the forms, because in the forms, the parents have to tell the nursery if the child has allergies or religious reasons, cannot eat specific things, etc. ED gasped. You fed her non-vegan food? Are you trying to poison my princess with your animal cruelty food? Me. Oh, I'm sorry, but we weren't informed about the... ED. Where's the manager? ED then stormed off to the office to berate the manager. I was too curious to watch this, so I sneaked around the corner and watched from afar. ED, your damn employees dare feed my precious daughter toxic food. M, I'm sorry, but what toxic food are you talking about, and which employee? ED, you guys fed my baby spaghetti that contained meatballs. Meatballs? It wasn't even organic. The damn girl told me. M, Well, if you don't like the food we provide, how about providing a packed lunch for Princess? We also have substitutes for vegans, but it won't be organic, unfortunately. Edie: how dare you try to make me do your job for you? You guys are responsible for feeding my Princess organic and vegan food. I'm richer than any of these people in this damn place, and I'm the main reason why this damn nursery is still alive, so you better give my Princess the best treatment. The private nursery was the only private nursery in the area, and not a lot of children are in the nursery since mainly working class people live in the area and put their children into public nursery. So the manager noticed me peeking around the corner, and without me noticing, a few others were watching as well. The manager closed the door, so unfortunately I couldn't hear what happened next. But all I know was that Princess still came to the nursery, and we started substituting her food for vegan food, but unfortunately not organic. Princess didn't like the fact she was eating yucky food and threw a tantrum. Later, the entitled dad decided that they won't be vegan anymore since Princess was crying to eat some meat, and he hates to see his Princess cry. The worst part is that this wasn't the worst entitled behavior they expressed. The worst was something that still angers me today. One day during the summer, it was sports day. We rented out a nice indoor hall that had air conditioning so the children should be nice and cool as they exercise. Now, amongst the children, there's this sweet bundle of joy, we'll call him Ryan. Now, Ryan is a special needs child because he's autistic and blind. Ryan has a stuffed rabbit named Robbie. Ryan loves Robbie because to Ryan, Robbie's his best friend in his world. He can't sleep, eat, or poop without Robbie holding his hand. During the day, Ryan wanted to join the egg and spoon race because his favorite food is eggs. Ryan left Robbie on his blankie and joined the race with the help of his assigned assistant. When he got back, he won second place. Robbie was gone. Ryan panicked and began to have a breakdown. He started crying how lonely he is and how dark it is without Robbie with him. The staff went on a frantic search for Robbie until finally we noticed Princess was holding him. Staff: Princess, can I have the toy back, please? Princess: no, I found it and it's mine. Staff: Princess, this belongs to Ryan. Princess: no, it's mine. Princess then began to cry that the stuffed rabbit was hers because she found it first. Entitled Dad noticed her cry and rushed over with a red, twisted face that he almost resembled an angry bull. Edie: what did you do to my Princess? Staff: Edie: I'm going to get you fired for this. You just wait. The manager noticed the commotion and asked what was going on. Edie began a huge rant on the manager on how he wanted the staff to be fired for making Princess cry. After a long rant, the manager quickly rushed over to understand the situation. Being informed about what was going on, the manager calmly tried to explain it to Edie and asked for Robbie the stuffed rabbit back. The Edie did not like what she said and started practically screaming at the manager. Edie: it belongs to Princess. How dare you demand to take it from her? The manager sighed. She's used to dealing with people like him, so she asked him to come outside the hall to have a private chat. I don't know exactly what she said exactly, but she told me afterward that she basically said to stop the entitled behavior. Edie didn't like that, but the manager kept cutting him off so that she could get some words in and basically told him that his behavior and his daughter were unacceptable, and if he kept this up, they'd have to leave the nursery. The next thing we knew, the Edie rushed back in the hall, grabbed his stuff, flipped a finger at us, then marched away with Princess, and we never saw them again. The manager got Robbie back from Princess and returned it to Ryan, who finally stopped crying and hugged Robbie as tightly as he could with a bright, happy smile. And our last story. Try to steal my legally rented parking spot? Enjoy being unemployed. I'm a professional driver. As such, on the roads in the U.S., there are different truck stops throughout the country that has a pay-to-park system, usually about 10 to 20% of the lot marked off as reserved, with each space running from $15 to $25. The truck stop where this took place had parking for $17, which is relatively cheap for a guaranteed spot. The spots are reserved for 24 hours starting at 4 p.m. local time and extending to 3 p.m. the following afternoon. I knew that I'd have a late-night delivery, so I came to the truck stop around 3:30 and paid for a reserve spot. I told the manager on duty that I had a delivery up the road that night and would be back once delivery was completed, but should still be able to clear out the spot by the next afternoon, today. She told me this was okay and she'd mark the spot as sold when I left. That way, if someone else comes in trying to reserve that spot, she could consult her notes and deny the sale. 11:15 p.m. rolls around. I take off for my delivery. I don't get out of that facility until 2:30 a.m. this morning, so I groggily drive back to the truck stop to reclaim my paid-for spot, only to find that the reserved parking spaces are all full. I call the manager on duty, and after giving her my info, inform her that all the spots are full and that someone has parked in a spot and hasn't paid for it. She sends her other employee out to start checking trucks. The culprit was from a company that's known for their bright orange trailers, and he was a company driver. The other employee starts banging on his door to inform him that he's parked illegally and he has to move. Meanwhile, I can see the commotion from my mirror with my vantage point in the fuel island where I'd been instructed to temporarily park. The driver answers the door with a bottle of Heineken in one hand and some sort of smoking implement in the other. I decided to roll down the window to hear the commotion, and I hear the employee tell the driver to either move or he'll get the towing company and police involved. This driver is flat out irate that someone had the audacity to tell him where he can and cannot park, so he slams the door on the employee, threatening him. Employee calls the police and tow company, and the police show up first. I'd worked for this company before, so I know their policies and, more importantly, what they can and cannot have in their trucks. Alcoholic beverages are not allowed in the cab. Anything that isn't a cigarette or a cigar and a lighter, also not allowed. The coup de grace, a pew-pew of any kind, absolutely not allowed, and especially not allowed loaded. This driver had all that and some other not-so-legal substances in his cab, so he was hauled away in cuffs. His truck was hauled away on a wrecker. I made a call after the commotion died down to the company safety director and informed them that their rig will be in an impound lot and their driver's going to jail over the not-so-legal stuff he had in his truck. She thanked me and said that he'll definitely lose his job, especially over the alcohol and the other not-so-legal stuff. I guess he played the screw around and find out card, and it bit him in his career. If someone threatens to get the police involved while you're drinking and smoking who knows what, it's your time to go. Guys, the a-hole of the day, and good job to you, OP. Hope you slept like a baby that night. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.